want to ask a question to you today. Do you have a specific goal in mind when it comes to your credit? When you first applied for any credit, did you have a goal in mind for your credit, or was you just applying? That's what we're going to talk about today. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and come back to Starr Knows Credit. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Starr Carter. On this channel, I talk personal financial education. So if this is something that you're interested in, make sure you guys stick around and subscribe to my channel today. Hit that like button so this video get pushed out to more viewers that might need to see this content. I really do appreciate it. And make sure you guys are cutting on your notification. That way you know when I drop another video. Thank you guys so much for all your love. I can't do it without y'all. Can't say it enough in every video. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So you guys, if you haven't already checked it out, I just did a video on the channel called What the Lenders Are Really Looking For, what your credit score really mean. I did a complete breakdown. I'm gonna link that video up in the cards. Make sure you check that video out if you have not. That video right there is gonna walk you through every single step of what your credit score looks like to lenders. It's gonna break down what each category, when I mean category, 35% is your payment history, 30% is credit utilization. I tell you exactly how many points each one of them categories equal up to. Because when it comes to credit, if you're trying to get that highest credit score with FICO, that's an 850. FICO gives you 300 and it's up to you to get the other 550. So in that video, I break that completely down. So if you don't know anything about credit, that's the video you need to start with first before you look at this video today. All right, let's get into today's question. What is your specific goal for your credit? Now, the reason why I'm asking you this, guys, is because I remember when I was 18 and I got my first credit card with Discover. I did not have any goal when I got that credit card. They sent me a pre-approval in the mail. I applied, I got the card. I didn't have any specific goal for it because at that time, I didn't even know how important credit really was. I told my story about, the first time I knew that you can even get things on credit was when my grandma took me to get a VCR at 16 from like a rental company, like Renter Center or something like that, which is not really credit because they didn't run any credit to do that. But that was my first experience and knowing that you can get things and pay for them over time. So that was still my thinking, not realizing that credit that really is reporting to a credit agency is a little different than going to a rental company or stuff like that, unless you default and it may go on your credit report as a collection. So it's different than credit. So when I got my Discover credit card, I had no idea that this thing, if I didn't pay it on time, if I didn't do everything right with it, that I was hurting myself from getting a home and from getting a good car loan because I wasn't paying this credit card on time. So sometimes you get credit and you're not ready for credit because you don't understand. So you got to make sure that when you are applying for credit, especially our young people, make sure that you understand what credit is about first before you apply, or even if they send you some pre-approval, make sure that you understand what credit is, because it's when you really need to get that major thing. Like, you might have gotten a car, but it wasn't the kind of car you wanted. Now you got a good job, so now you want to get a good car, but your credit is not that good because when you first applied for credit, you didn't understand it. And so now your credit is not that good. So you're at the mercy of predatory lenders. You might have to go to a buy here, pay here place instead of going to your local credit union where you could get the best interest rate and the best terms for a new or even a used vehicle. So it's very important that you setting goals with your credit and you're not just applying for things just because you can get a pre-approval, or you've been on YouTube and one of us YouTubers told you that you can go get this loan or this card because it's easy, this and that and the other. I want to make sure that you guys have a specific goal for your credit going forward. Credit is one of those things, it's an ongoing process. So credit is one of those things that you want to make sure that you're keeping it in the best shape, because you never know when life is going to life. You never know when the car that you have right now, the transmission may go out or the motor may go out and you might have to get a car. So you want to always be ready when credit may have to come in play. So therefore, being strategic with everything that you apply for going forward is going to make sure that you have the best credit for when those times when you actually need it. Credit is not just for applying things to just get money and then you can run up your debt to income. Credit really and truly is for those things that you cannot really pay for with cash. And that's usually big ticket items, a car, a home. So if you are doing everything that you're supposed to do with your credit, when those big ticket items come about in your life, you know, because those things will come up at some point, you want to make sure that you're ready. So that's for that video that I did about where the lenders are looking at you and I break down your credit score. That's the reason why that video is so important, because I tell you, just for an example, okay, 35% of your credit score is payment history. That counts for 35%. That equals to 192.5 points of the 550 that you have to come up with. Now, if you always pay your bills late, that means that your credit score is really, really taking a hit, because you got to make up 192 points out of the 550 because they give you 300 and that's what make a 850 credit score. So if you're always paying your credit card bills late, even if it's a secured card, a loan, whatever, and it's always reporting late, okay, that's when your credit score is going to really, really be low, because you have not shown that you have the ability to pay your payments on time. In that video, I let you know your credit score is only showing you how risky you are. How much of a risk are you? So when you thinking about your credit, I want you to always keep your credit in mind and be like, okay, I might not be ready to get a car right now. I may not have my money saved for my down payment, but I've been looking at this car. I really want this car. So I'm going to continue to save. I'm going to continue to do well on my credit. I'm not going to apply for things I don't want, because new credit inquiries can also hurt your credit score. So you want to be very strategic in the credit that you're applying for and not just be applying for anything. One of the main things that you could do when you're trying to build your credit, whether that's new to credit, if you've never had credit before, or if you had credit problems in the past, is building a relationship with a bank or a credit union. That's one of the best things you could do, especially a local bank and a local credit union right in your area that services your, main community. That way, when you are ready to buy a home or to get a car, then you already have yourself a lender, because you've been doing your banking with this person and you're not at the mercy of a buy here, pay here place or some type of financing that you go to these dealerships and they shotgun your credit to everybody and you got a high but interest rate. We're not doing that, okay? So therefore, I want you guys to have a specific goal that you want to set for your credit, not just applying. If you want to start a business, that's even more reason why you want to make sure that you're keeping your credit in tip-top shape, because a lot of times, even with business credit, they're going to look at your personal credit, because if you're not responsible with your personal finances, with your personal money, you're not going to be responsible with your business money. That's just how it is. So it's time to be proactive in these things before we get to those events that will call for your credit or call for you to may have business credit. You want to always be monitoring it. You want to always be on top of it. So when you go to a lender, you are there in confidence that you're going to get approved. That's what we want. I'm not worried about going in here and fill out this application for this home loan. I'm not worried about going in here and fill out this application for this car loan. I'm not worried about going in here to fill out this application for this business credit card, because I have actively been working and doing the right thing about my credit, not having any late payments, making sure I'm keeping my credit card utilization down, make sure I'm not applying for credit too often, making sure that I am taking care of whatever it is that's on my credit. If I got collections, I'm getting them disputed or getting them removed. We're doing everything that we know we're supposed to do before these events occur, and also preventing it. So if you already had collections, if you already had late payments, going forward, we're not doing it anymore. Stop letting things continue to tear it up. You just have to stop, right? So you want to make sure that you're setting a goal. So what is your goal when you are applying for credit? Make sure you're only applying for credit when you have a specific goal. If you don't have a goal in mind, don't apply for credit, because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. You want to keep your credit report as clean as possible. Do not get credit, because if you get too credit heavy, then you wind up over leveraging your credit, and eventually you won't be able to pay somebody back because you're living above your means. And that's how things get late. That's how things get into collections. So you want to just make sure that you're being just more strategic about using your credit and only using it when it's absolutely necessary. So I hope this video makes sense today. Please leave me a comment and let me know, what is your specific goal? What is your goal that you have today that you need to do with your credit, and what are the actions that you're going to take to make that goal a reality? Also, guys, don't forget that you can join the Credit Ready program. The information for that is in the description. The community is steady growing, so I love to see you guys inside of the Credit Ready program. I will see you guys again in the next video. Don't forget, leave me a comment. I love you. Peace out.